Today I'd like to tell you my story, as you could probably already read from the video topic, my story about my skin treatment, my acne, and how it happened in my life, what I'm trying to do, how I live with that, and so on. First of all, I probably have to tell that both of my parents had problem skin, so I think like in the case with bad vision from both of the parents, I was like I had almost 100% to have a problem skin, and I remember, fun fact, I remember that very first pimple I had when I was 9 years old, but I can't say that it can be really counted because I think it was something because of the dirt, because at the time I was going to dance class, and maybe that's because of the sweating, because of something. I remember that it was somewhere here or here, and yeah, I was like 9 years old. And I remember that when I was a kid, I was pretty cruel because my mom, she had some acne on her skin, maybe not really strong, but her skin was not perfect. And I like laughed at her a little bit when I was like in elementary school, and I didn't know that soon I'm gonna become the same. So firstly, I came across this problem when it was really visible pretty early, I think. Even for teenager, it was when I was 11 years old. And only while preparing to this video, while I was remembering all these details, I thought if it could be connected with my change of school, because I don't remember the exact month when they appeared, but it was pretty close to changing the school. So because my elementary school was in my district nearby my home, I walked there by foot like 20 minutes. But the fact is that my district was not really wealthy, and my parents wanted me. So elementary school, they decided that it's okay, but they wanted me later to go to better school, which was quite far from my home. It took 1 hour to get there, and I needed to use 2 transports and change one transport. I mean, change the line of the transport. So yeah, and so since 11 years old, I needed to go to school like that. I needed to wake up much earlier than it was before, and of course it was a big stress for me. Also, it was a stress that in elementary school, I don't know how it works in Western countries, but in Russia, in elementary school, usually we have children have their own class where kids just sit with their teacher. Usually there is one teacher for most of the subjects, and usually they go to some other classes only for some really special lessons like physical training or music or like something like this. But like 80% of the lessons are in the same class with the same teacher. And since the 5th grade in new school, it wasn't like that. So the school was new and the type of studying was new, and I felt very uncomfortable the first year that you need to go every time to the new class, and you can't come into the class during the break and sit there like it was in the elementary school, because during all the school, well, in elementary school it was okay, but since my 11 years old, I really suffered from the noise during the breaks, because in the schools usually it's always quite loud because kids are shouting, running, and all that stuff. And I didn't really like this, because since I was a teenager, I was very sensitive to loud noises, and I still sensitive to loud noises. And it was difficult for me that I couldn't come into some teachers. Sometimes they let to come into the class, but usually they didn't let us to come inside on the breaks, and you needed just to be in the corridor. And in the elementary school, it was like we had their own class where we could be the whole day if we wanted. yes, we of course we could come out to the corridor, but we had like our own part of corridor which was nearby our class, so of course we could hang out there, and it was still more comfortable because it was like your part of corridor. So also the first year I had no friends because it was pretty difficult for me to change this how to say it, surrounding, to change the school, and I was the person who pretty slowly gets close to people, so I needed like lots of time, so it was like a year to make a friends there. And I think only now I thought that maybe it could be connected, and maybe all my forehead was full of acne, and but all the other face was clean. So it was like that for several years. But to 14 years old, acne get lowered on my cheeks, and usually since 14 years old and most of the time later, the most problem zones were like here. So the front face was okay, but here it was it was pretty bad. I was, of course, I was happy that I didn't have, you know, such a thing when all your face in these red pimples. I don't know how it's called, but it's much worse than just this typical acne. That was the only thing which made me feel better. But during all the school, all the university, I was the most acne person in all from all my like class or group mates everywhere. And despite I didn't even have like the whole face, but no, technically, okay, whole my face was a problem because where I didn't have pimples, I had these black spots, and so all my skin was full of imperfections, and it's still actually not perfect, but it was much worse. But for some surprising reason, no one never like don't know this word, write it down. So treated bad with me in school, for example, because of my skin. No one ever told me anything. Well, maybe they could just ask something. Don't you do anything with your skin? Or you can try Clearasil. It sounds good. It sounds like something good for your skin. And I was like, okay, thank you. I already tried like everything and it didn't help. But thank you for your like so full of value advice. And but no one ever like gave me any nicknames or something, and that was really surprising because I actually wasn't popular in school. I always was like, you know, in different movies there is a group of kids which are like freaks of the class or something, and I always was somewhere there. So it was even surprising that that wasn't the reason to bull me somehow or something. And it even wasn't the problem for me to find relationships, to get married, because I still had this problem. And unfortunately, I don't really have many photos. I'll try to find some which can show the situation on my face earlier, because firstly, I could use this special cream to hide all these imperfections. Of course, in real life it was visible, but on photos it could make things a bit better. And the second thing is that the most problem zones, as I said, were here. So the front of face looked not so bad, and usually on photos that's why it wasn't so visible. But of course sometimes I got like pimples everywhere, like I think in all the possible those sometimes even on my ears or something. And yeah, that was not really pleasant. Also, when I was a teenager, my skin was much fatter than now. Now I even don't know what is my type of skin, just problem skin. I don't know. It feels like normal, but I don't know if normal skin can be problem. But yeah, earlier it was like that. And talking about what I tried to do with that, or what my parents tried to do with that, because I actually was quite young. I think that mostly they perceived it like I'm a teenager. That's why I have this acne. Also, both of my parents had it. So, well, they didn't have it like that of course, when they grew up. They were grew up, but still, their skin wasn't perfect, and they thought that, well, of course, our skin is not perfect. That's why. So maybe like that. But I tried so many different ways, and the fun fact that my best friend, also had problem skin, maybe better than I did, but she had, and her acne started later than mine did, but still, but we were not in one school, so we couldn't be both the most acne kids in the class. And together we tried so many different things, including, like toothpaste. So put toothpaste on your face, different like chlorophyll, the extract from plants, the green liquid. I don't know, propolis. I don't know how to say it in English. I'll write it down if it's different. So thing that bees do, then some liquid from skin burns, or I don't know, so many different things we tried. And then when I was maybe 14 or 15 years old, finally, I went with my mom to dermatologist, and they made some checkings, like blood check, some parasites check, and they said it's all okay. They said they also said she's a teenager, and just wait until it gets better. Now I think that it still wasn't normal, and actually I think that I needed to do something anyway. Then from time to time I started go to cosmetologist, as my mom did, and it was mechanical facial cleansing. So mechanical, when they literally how to say it, warm up your face somehow, not warm up, but make the effect like it was warm up, and do it with their fingers in gloves, of course, in medical gloves. So I mean mechanically pick out all your black spots, all your pimples, and it was very painful for me all the time, and it was very long because all my skin was full of imperfections. And the first time I remember that I didn't like the cosmetologist, sorry. I went to the one which my mom liked, but just emotionally, I don't know, I didn't get some contact with her. Maybe she didn't even said something really unpleasant or something, but maybe something in her tone or the things she said, I don't know, because I was very sensitive about this topic anyway, because I knew that I have this problem. But I remember that the skin cleansing was not so bad even, but the emotional, it was very unpleasant for me, the way she talked with me, what she talked. And I remember that I came home and started crying after that. I was again 14 or something, and I didn't want to go to her any longer. Then I went to different one, and she said oh my god, you have so many imperfections on your face that I think we won't even be ready during this session, because she said that it will be very traumatical for your skin to pull all this out, and also it's very exhausting for me because there is too much of this to do. I visited her, by the way, a couple of times, but for some reason I stopped. Then I went to another one who was doctor with some high grade of, I don't know, doctor of some high level, but I visited her 2 times, and both of the times after visiting her, the situation became worse. So I don't know what she did wrong, but the worst result was after her. And it lasted like that during all my school. So from time to time I tried different creams, different ways, but nothing really helped. So it was just somehow it worked. On the other hand, for example, it helped me to think more about healthy eating, because when you had such kind of problem, it's strange to eat unhealthy food. if you want to solve it somehow. So it was a big motivation for me to eat better, despite I can't say that it was really helpful, but still. On the other hand, sometimes I felt really not greedy, but still unpleasant, because I saw my like classmates or some other kids who drank lemonades, ate lots of unhealthy products, sweets, and they had better skin than mine. So it was not really pleasant thing. But again, as I said, at least now no one bullied me with that, and that was good. So time passed, and from time to time I tried different methods, different vitamins. And when I was 17 years old, some kind of miracle happened, because I started taking brewing yields. I probably write down this word. I don't know how it is in your country, but in Russia they can be sold in tablets, and you can take them. Like they say that it's a lot of vitamin B there, so it's healthy to take them, and they are pretty bad for pretty good for skin. I mean, because it's also like some kind of vitamins. And when I was 17, I started taking them, and my skin suddenly became perfect. So I don't remember was it really perfect or not, but for me it was perfect, because it became absolutely clean, and I was so impressed. I thought, and it was almost the end of the school, and I was like, wow, am I going to finish school with such a clean face? But there was a problem that I got terrible skin allergy because of this stuff. So I had huge red spots on my arms, and they were itchy, quite strong. And I needed some time to see the connection that this allergy is because of this. And I was so upset, because I found the thing which really helped me, but it caused such a strong allergy on my body. And yeah, so I was forced to stop taking them, and like in a week or two, everything became back like it was. So it was strange. And by the way, I already tried different ones before, but different brands, and it didn't work like that. And in several years, I can tell you, I decided to try one more time. I found this brand. It was not so easy to find it, because it was not something popular, and I started taking them again, and there was no such result, and I don't know what it was. I still don't know what it was, why it worked like that time. No idea. So when I was 18 years old, I decided to start doing facial cleansing again, because for some time I dropped it because it was painful, unpleasant, very long. It could last like more than 1 hour in my case. And I found my mom recommended me a cosmetologist. She was an old lady. She was very talkative, and she also, while she did it, of course, it also was painful, but she talked with me a lot, and somehow it helped me emotionally, because it distracted me. I was talking with her during all the process, and it was interesting to talk with her, so it felt much better than it was before. So since 18 to 20 something, maybe like 24, I was visiting her, but it was expensive, and still it was painful, and it gave temporary effect. So yeah, for several weeks it became better. Firstly, I needed like 1 or 2 weeks to get my skin covered, because still it was a traumatic. So I had some like red face, some I don't know, like not wounds, but still. And then maybe several weeks it was good, but of course later, little by little, it became worse, started becoming worse, and I just lived like that during, yeah, maybe how many years? Since I was maybe 24. And finally I got tired because of this. I got tired to go there every time, to pay so much money, to waste time, to anyway to bear this pain, then this period, recovery period. And then, by the way, ASMR helped me because that was the time when I started watching ASMR, and when I already watched ASMR, I mean, and I watched one video, something about skin treatment, and the girl there, she said that she has a dry type of skin, and she went to dermatologist to like choose the caring products for her type of skin. And I was like, really? So I don't know why, but during the whole of my life I thought that dermatologist is something for strong illnesses, strong skin illnesses like psoriasis or rosacea or lichen, something like this. And I never thought that you can go to dermatologist with acne. Yes, I had this experience when I was a teenager, but it was like, you know, a dermatologist hospital where really were people with some strong, really bad skin diseases. And I remember that when we were there, I felt like I came with something really light, and doctors like wasting their time on me or something. A little bit, of course, I felt like that. So I never thought that you can come to dermatologist just to talk about your skin, which product is better to use for your skin type. I thought it's more about cosmetologist. But by the way, I forgot to tell that this old lady, cosmetologist, which I liked and which I visited for several years, it turned out later, my mom said to me that she don't even have some medical education. So she just teached somehow how to do it, watching at some other cosmetologist, because she was working in the beauty salon, but not as a cosmetologist, firstly. And somehow she taught how to do it, but her result was the best for me. How she did it was the best for me. And I was so shocked when I knew it, because I was like, how it's possible? Because I visited different like cosmetologists who were doctors, and I had worse result than visiting her. So I don't know what a conclusion to make from this story, because actually it's not really normal, but the fact that it was like that with me. So what I wanted to say then, yeah, I watched this ASMR video and I thought, so that means that I can come to dermatologist too and ask about my problem with acne. Because of course, before cosmetology, they recommended me some cosmetics, but it was more about not pharmacy cosmetics. Or sometimes it was, but it was not like, you know, a treating scheme. They just recommended something like, you can try this one, you can try this one. But then I came to dermatologist, I found one, and it was like, I made some blood test before coming here, and she checked my blood tests, and she checked my skin, and she said that I need to go to endocrinologist because maybe it can be the problem with hormones. And what else? So yeah, and she wrote, prescribed some treating scheme for me. There were 2 medical creams for my face, and I started using them the way she prescribed. And I went to endocrinologist, and I also made some like blood test on hormones, which dermatologist said to do. And endocrinologist said that I have one scale a bit higher than it should be, which can really influence on my skin. And she said that I can try hormonal therapy, but she described me how it all lasts. So how do you need? So first of all, you need to take lots of tests to choose the correct one, which is suitable for you. Some of the tests were really expensive or really difficult to find the place where the lab where they take these tests, where they do these tests. Then I read about some how to say it, side effects of hormonal therapy, and I decided that I don't really want to do this. So I came back to dermatologist, I showed her the analysis, and endocrinologist said to me that if I will be okay just using the dermatological creams, maybe my skin won't be perfect, but it will be better. And maybe if I okay with this better result, I can just live like that. without hormonal therapy. And but the dermatologist checked my analysis and said it's not so bad. Maybe you don't even need hormonal therapy, because yes, you have this one testosterone scale a bit higher, but really a little bit. So I wouldn't. She said that probably it can't even cause such a result with such a little bit increase in the normal. So I just decided to leave the treatment of dermatologist, and finally we ended up with this cream, which is FSL. It's a French one, and I use it like day after day. I a little bit changed her scheme actually, because I needed to use the second one too, but I didn't really like it. It felt unpleasant on my skin, so I left just this one because this one I find quite cool, and I just like change it. So I mean, one day I use this one day I use just usual skin cream, and but that was not the end of the story, because from time to time I'm taking vitamins, and I decided to take Russian vitamins, which are called Alphabet. Unfortunately, I don't have them at my home right now, so I ordered them, but they still didn't come here, and I started taking them, and after several days, my skin became almost perfect again, and I was so shocked, almost like it was with when I was 17 years old, but without any allergies or something. And I was really shocked because, of course, maybe it's together with cream, it worked like that. So the cream was like something outer, and it was something inner, but yeah, it happened like that. And I tried different like groups of their vitamins, because you know they have like complexes, they have like classical for kids, for teenagers, for stress, for sleep, for energy, for I don't know, for autumn period, like viruses period, so different ones. But I was the best result was from classic ones and from like skin, nails, hair, so not really surprising. And I decided just to take these vitamins to get better result. Now I made a break. I didn't take them maybe a month, and now I want to start again, because I see that my skin started getting worse, and I still don't know what's the reason, because that's a complex, and I checked there are many vitamins there in this complex, and many of them I already tried just by themselves, but it didn't work. And I try to understand what exactly it is, because it seems like I have lack of something in my body, because I was told that it's probably because of the hormones, but that's vitamins, they are not hormones, and probably I just have lack of the something in my body, but I don't know what is it. Maybe it's not even some vitamin, but you know, some acid, some mineral, I don't know what. I had different blood tests, but maybe it should be something much wider. I don't know. So no idea for now what it can be. So I really need maybe to think about it more carefully. But for now, I'm okay with. So my skin, it's not perfect anyway. My skin has still lots of how to say it, not scars, but still this my skin is not like really smooth, and of course after so many years having pimples or something, there are some like small holes in my skin. I still have pimples sometimes, so it's not perfectly well, but I understand that it can't be perfectly well just because it's like that. That's the skin I have. I know that my skin tend to have some imperfections very easily, so where some person won't get anything, I get skin full of pimples because of some outer factors, for example. And also I probably have some inner factor, which I still don't know exactly. But I'm happy if it's some lack of some vitamin, not the hormones, because I don't want to have hormonal therapy. So something like this. It was also a big motivation for me to go to dermatologist, because I started filming videos and I didn't want to use this cream to hide all my pimples, because actually that's also one of the reasons why I don't wear the makeup. Firstly, because I'm too lazy, I don't really like doing it. I don't really like put something on my face, which is not really like necessary. And also, yeah, I very soon I start seeing that my skin getting worse after that, and I don't want, like to make my skin worse because of makeup, and they buy even more different treating products or something to make it better. So that's why I don't wear makeup. And of course, it was not the way to use this tone cream to hide all my pimples, because it would cause even worse situation on my face. So I decided that if I don't want to use any cosmetics in the video, I need at least to do something with my skin to make it look maybe not perfect, but better than it is. And also, as a person who had acne and still has some, I really appreciate bloggers who don't use like different face filters or something to make their skin look perfect, because actually I can say that for people like me, it's really, so people may not like all this inclusiveness, where when now they start different companies or someone something like that, they started showing like fat people or people who are not beautiful or something. But I can't tell, I can tell about acne that for me as a person with acne, it's really comfortable to see people with acne. For example, we played some games, like computer games, I mean, with my husband, and there were characters who had acne, and I was like, wow, cool. So you see, it's like it happens, it can be, and that's it. So, and nothing terrible actually, it just can be with the person. And yeah, now in the movies, very rare, but sometimes I can see when the teenager have pimples, problem skin, and it's also, for me, I like that they show it, that it's possible, because when you always see everyone with perfect skin in the media or in the movies, in the cartoons everywhere, yeah, it's not bad, it's okay, but it's just really nice to see someone with a problem like you have, and they just exist, they are okay, and they can be there, and it can be in this world. This is not the world of perfect skin in this movie or somewhere else. So yeah, that's how it feels for me. So I think that's it, because I already said enough. I hope that it was interesting for you to watch, to listen to, and if you have also some stories of your skin problems, how did you solve them, or are you in process, or something like this. So it will be quite nice to read, quite interesting. So feel free to share with me. Thank you very much for watching, and пока-пока.